Myths versus truths. Welcome back to the latest episode of Horse Sense in Training. We have a different kind of format today, which, it's always fun to change it up.
You're changing it up on me already?
Again,
I
already.
was just getting comfortable.
I know, but you're so good at going on the fly, shifting.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to read a myth, and then we're going to tell you what the truth is. So it's that easy. All right, let's get this party started. Only professional trainers train horses. Well, the truth is, everyone who touches a horse is actually training that horse, whether you realize it or not.
Excellent point. Professional training, that term means only one thing. That particular person got paid to train the horse. That doesn't have anything to do with their qualifications. It doesn't mean that they're actually qualified. It means that yesterday Sally decided she wanted to hang out a sign out front of their place and say, professional training. Nobody cautioned anybody about her qualifications. And so the professional aspect of it only means that they're getting paid. There are tremendous amateur handlers and trainers out there.
For sure.
And again, the only difference is they do not get paid. So when we talk about in all the different breeds we deal with, it's always the same situation. It is that they have amateur classes versus open classes or professional classes. And the difference is remuneration or getting paid. So that's all. Professional and amateurs can be very positive towards a horse, or they can be very negative. Qualifications, knowledge, experience, all of those things come into play. Which one are you?
Okay, myth number 2. I'm just feeding him. No, the truth is you're teaching him manners.
Great point. Feeding is one of the best times to really bond with your horse. But bonding means that you still call the shots. When you're feeding, you have his attention. That's a big key issue. You have their attention. But if you, in fact, allow them to fall into, he's my baby, he loves me, he would never hurt me, that's where you fall into the trap. We're not talking about being abusive, and we're not talking about anything like that. But if you feed him a carrot, for example, make sure you have your digits out of the way. And when you allow your child or your grandchild to feed a carrot to your loving horse that would never hurt anybody, and you don't show them how to get their fingers out of the way, I've seen devastation and I've seen fingers come off. And it was just because we didn't take action before the fact. Be cautious when you're feeding, but it's a great time to bond. It's a great time to teach manners. Don't let them push on you. Don't let them bite you. Don't let them step on you. Those are obvious, and you know all of that. But sometimes you just need to be refreshed.
Flat palm.
Flat palm.
Treats.
No
carrots,
digits.
all of those things.
Or we'll start calling you Stubby.
We still have 10 fingers.
Yeah, got them all.
All right. Myth number 3. I'm just leading him to the pasture. The truth is, you're teaching him respect.
You're teaching him manners once again. When you're just leading him to the pasture and he knows he's going to get turned out and he's all excited and all those good things, does he run over you? Does he push you? Does he stomp you? Does he reach down and bite you? Does he swing around on the lead rope and cow kick at you? Well, all of those things are possible. So you better be prepared for them. You put them right next to you where you have control of their head, and you're basically out of harm's way at that point, unless something really goes sideways. Always be ready for the horse to get spooked.
Yeah.
And when they get spooked, and I hate to say this, but this is the truth. When they get spooked over on the right, they're coming left. And if you're there, you're in harm's way. They are not going to not run over you. I don't care how mannerly they are. I don't care how many years of training they've had. Fight or flight always takes over. Always. And people just think they want to think that their horse thinks like a human. They do not, ladies and gentlemen. They think like a horse. Fight or flight's the only tools they have. That is how they have survived for eons. Run away, box me in a corner, I'm coming at you. That's all they think about. We program the rest of the situation with the horses via training and manners. So always be on guard. Always be on guard, because it's very difficult when that horse of yours for 10 years runs over you. You're going to think different. And you can't blame them. That's a key issue. Yep. Don't blame them. Don't blame them. Something boogered them, spooked them over here to the right. And it was big enough that they thought they should flee. That's all they had to go by.
And I actually want to tag on to this, because it's always concerning to us when we read like horses for sale and it says bomb proof. That's my favorite term.
Wow.
No, there is no such thing as a bomb proof horse. Never has been, never will be. Can you desensitize that horse to a numerous amount of things? Absolutely. But if an ad for a horse says bomb proof, I'd be questioning that ad.
Beware, right there, right so there.
Buyer beware.
Yeah. Let me tag on to that.
Okay.
If you're going to go buy a horse, take a confident, knowledgeable professional with you. Don't go there on your own. You're going to get in trouble. I'm going to tell you something. If Christy and I walk into a barn with a client of ours, and the barn owners see us coming, and it doesn't matter what breed, quarter horse, thoroughbreds, all the gated breeds we deal with, it does not matter. All of a sudden, the dynamics change. Because you're not going to BS us. Sorry, you're not. We come in there innocent, just like our client did, and they start trying to pull the wool over your eyes. We'll stop it right there. And we've heard some really interesting stories in what we call sales pitch. A, they're out of their league. B, they bought the horse 2 weeks ago, and they're trying to portray like they know the horse inside and out. Okay? And then they say, well, yeah, but he's sound on 3 legs. Well, isn't that interesting? So do yourself a favor. Grab a knowledgeable professional. Take them with you. They'll save you a lot of grief, a lot of time, a lot of money. Yep. They really will.
A lot of heartache.
Yep.
Okay. Myth number 4. He's only standing in the cross ties. He's standing quietly, and that's a learned behavior.
Another good point. He's standing in the cross ties. He is completely controlled at that point in time until something boogers him. Something in the wash bay area or tacking area. A bottle falls off the shelf behind him. He's coming through those cross ties. Fight or flight. So be prepared for that. Okay? We have breakaways on all the things that we pretty much hold a horse with. And it's important. We want them to be restrained. And we teach them to do that. But you also have to be aware of what if. What if that horse slips and falls down? Is he going to be hung there because he can't get his balance? Okay? In an effort to stand up, can you cut them away from the cross ties? Are they chain cross ties that are extremely strong? Go through your facility and look at those things. Make sure you've got a game plan. Okay? It'll save you a lot of headache. Really will.
Okay. Myth number 5. He only bites when treats are involved. Well, in our case, every treat is rewarding something, whether it's good or bad.
He only bites when treats are involved. I don't believe that for a minute.
Yeah.
He's going to bite you in the pasture because you've allowed it when you gave him treats. Again, if you go through life thinking they're thinking like humans, you've missed way half of the battle. They think like horses. That's all. We've already shared this with you. We do not believe, and most people that are professionals do not believe, that the horses have the power to reason. They don't think either or. They think what they've been programmed to think. Just like a computer.
Yeah.
It's only as good as that program, and it's not going to think outside that program. And that's the way horses think. Think like a horse and be successful.
Be thinking ahead, always. Okay. Oh, he'll grow out of it. No, the truth is behaviors become habits.
Grow out of it. He's only going to get worse at it. He's going to get stronger at it. He will get a little more savvy because you're going to put him in a situation that he's going to program to see where his parameters are. He's not going to grow out of it. Don't be afraid to spank your horse. Now, I want to reiterate that. Spank your horse. I did not say whip. I did not say abuse. I did not do any of that. The key issue is that you do it, and we use the 5-second rule. You know, people pick out a donut and they drop it and they go, oh, 5-second rule, okay? Well, that's about the time that that horse has the ability to focus on what the action is. So timing and training is everything. I don't care what the subject is. Timing in training is everything. So if the horse gets loose from you and you're talking about, well, he'll grow out of it. He'll quit pulling in the cross ties. He'll quit pulling back on the lead rope. He'll quit breaking the lead ropes and running out into the pasture to be with his buddies. No, he won't. Not until you put cause and effect there. Cause is he's pulling back. The effect is you didn't tie him up well enough to make him not pull back. We are absolutely all about them training themselves on the pullback situation. We're not going to encourage it. We're going to set them up. We're in a safe place. And we're going to put something there that they cannot break because that's the culprit. That's programming. I pull back. I break the halter, the lead rope. I get away. They'll do it every time. So he's not growing out of that. Like I said earlier, it'll get worse because he'll be bigger, stronger, more knowledgeable, and he's going to break away when you really don't want him to break away. And the next thing you see old Blue running down the highway, dragging a lead rope or half of a halter or whatever the situation is. So fix it. Don't believe that he's thinking about it and he's going to take care of it. Won't happen.
So it's an interesting situation that I want to talk about right now because we have lots of experience of handling babies, of
Foals,
handling
yeah.
foals and teaching proper halter breaking. And it is amazing to me how many horses we get in for training that have absolutely no idea what true halter breaking is. You can immediately tell when our foals are halter broken properly. They will be hanging with a lead rope. They'll be running around, and as soon as they step on that lead rope, they stop immediately. Pull, release, pull, release. They teach themselves that pressure. And so if you have a horse that has none of that pull or release, or if you see them sucking back and sitting back on that, as a baby, ours learned pull, release. So it's interesting to see how other trainers.
Well, there's cause and effect there.
Yeah.
We see a lot of these videos out here like what you're watching today. And I'm sorry if we're breaking some of these myths, but somebody has to tell you the truth. Okay? When you see some of these people, and it's so cute. Oh man, this is a 2-week-old foal. And mom's right here, somebody's leading the mare. And you see a butt rope on the back of this foal, and they got a cute little halter on them, and they're kind of leading him and choking him with that butt rope. Okay? That's not teaching them how to lead. That's just basically teaching them some control right here. When that horse gets bigger, are you going to put a butt rope on that big sucker at 17 hand standing right there that just pulled the post over in your barn? I don't think so.
Nope.
So that 17 hander, 1,200 pounds, wouldn't be doing that if it was taught to lead properly. And leading properly is to give in to pressure and release. That's what they feel. Right here at the halter. We're not talking about neck ropes, butt ropes, hock ropes, any of those things. Teach them how to lead. Pull forward as soon as you have tension on that rope and they start to pull, you stop. When they release, you move forward. Pull and release, pull and release, pull and release. That's the whole thing. And it takes time. Okay? So do your homework. Teach them how to lead properly, not to wear a butt rope properly. Come on. And I'm not saying don't use a butt rope if that makes it easier for you to move them forward, but don't rely on that because you're not going to have that. You got to teach them the respect of the halter and to give to pressure.
And they're little.
Yeah.
All right. This is one of my favorite ones we're going to turn our attention to riding right now.
These haven't been favorites?
I mean,
oh,
but this is one of my favorite ones because
okay.
we hear this a lot. All right. But I don't ride enough to affect my horse. The truth is, 5 minutes of positive handling every day teaches more than one perfect ride per week.
Oh, I couldn't agree more with that. That positive programming, 5 minutes a day, will again put you light years ahead of everything else. One ride a week that you think is excellent is a very positive thing, but you didn't do hardly any training. So every time you touch a horse, every time anybody in your family touches a horse, every time they have someone on the end of that lead rope, you're training. When you walk in the stall with that same foal we were talking about, and you snuggle up to it and put your arm over the top and it stands, and it might lick its lips while you're petting it.
It's licking its lips.
It's licking its lips. Oh my God, you've arrived. Okay. Anyway, when you have that comfort level and you can just see it in the horse's eyes, again, you're reading the body language, that the horse's, that foal has relaxed. Mom's relaxed because she's going to be watching the whole time. And if there's something going on over here, she's going to know. She's going to know, and she probably will react. Our horses are so calm, they just go over to the hay and just keep eating. Most of the time, we don't even have to halter our mares. That imprinting starts at day one. Yeah. So every time you're around that horse, you have an effect on that horse. Every time. And don't screw up. If you're not mentally ready to go to the barn in a cool, calm manner, unless you have to feed it and water it, stay home. Stay home. You may, in 5 minutes, blow what you've already accomplished in 30 days as a trainer. And owners, please don't force your trainer to train. Yeah, we get it. You're paying them. We understand it. But if they're having a bad mental day, they can have a tremendous effect on your herd. So don't forget that. Don't force them. If that happens a lot, then you might have to look for a different trainer. That situation is up to you guys. But again, we're going to tell you the truth. Being mentally, what we call in the book, mentally irregular is devastating to a horse. So don't let them get in that position. Don't put yourself in that position. Make it cool and calm. And sometimes you got to force yourself. Everybody has bad days. There's no question about that. But you got to have control of that so that you don't negate all of your training.
Okay. Groundwork isn't real training.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's one of my favorites that I've heard.
What a myth. What a myth.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
So the truth is everything starts on the ground.
Yes. From the saddle, you can do a lot of things. But from the ground, you can have a very positive impact on the future saddle training of your horse. Now, I will tell you, we don't go overboard on groundwork. Once they have the ABCs, we pretty much move on to saddle time. But while we're on the ground, we reinforce the ABCs every day. Okay? Depending on what discipline. Again, we deal with all breeds of horses. So you got to get into the mindset of the cold-blooded and the warm-blooded. Okay, that's a real deal that you need to realize. And we'll talk about that on a different episode. One of you remind me and ask a question, and we'll answer that about the warm bloods versus the cold-blooded horses and what effect you can have on them, because there's a lot of information there. Okay.
All right, for the final myth.
Is this rapid fire?
No.
Oh, this isn't rapid fire.
I'm letting you talk on this one.
Okay.
All right. Good horses are born. And I'm going to say that the truth is great horses are created.
Yeah, good horses are born. That I don't think there's any myth to that. Your horse has and will only have the genetic makeup ability that God gave him or her. No more than that. Okay? Secretariat, one of my all-time favorite horses. The good Lord gave him a lot of positive things. And not only his unbelievably good conformation, which allowed for the overall dynamics of him being a superior racehorse, but he also gave him a 100% larger capacity heart. When they did the necropsy, we've talked about this. His heart weighed 22 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. Normal horse heart on most breeds is 10 to 11 pounds. Maybe a little bit bigger in the draft horse breeds. 22 pounds of a hydraulic pump when he's full stride at 110 degrees length of dexterity and length of stride. His heart was idling as he's running the Kentucky Derby versus the other ones in there. Okay, Sham is sitting there with a great record, a great heart, a great body, a great mind, but he didn't have the pump. So when you get down to the last little furlongs and things of that nature, Secretariat just said, see ya, and left. So good horses are born? Yes. Good genetics are extremely important. And for those of you that say, I don't care about registering my horse, well, his genetics need to come and follow him. It's a gelding. He's not breeding. That's not the issue. The horse you bought is only going to be as good as the genetics he has. It doesn't matter whether you're going to breed him or not. Can he do the job you're after? Are you going to try to win the quarter mile? Are you going to try to win the Kentucky Derby? Are you going to try to win the National Show Horse Society show? Are you going to try to win the Paso Fino Grand National Championship? What are your genetics going to tell you? Because that's what it's about. Christy, your point was very well taken. Good horses, yes, they are born. Great horses follow into the training. And they've got to have the physical capability and the mental capability, or they're not going anywhere if they cannot absorb the training when produced and directed properly. And that's a big key issue, and that's a whole nother episode.
So let's end it with this because I do have an audience poll in training. So here's your question, and we want to hear from you. So make sure that you like, share, follow, comment, subscribe. We are on YouTube, Horse Sense in Training, Instagram, Horse Sense in Training. We're on Facebook, and of course, we're on TikTok.
Yeah,
Horse
because
Sense in
folks,
Training.
yeah, to be honest with you, if you don't like what we're doing, just tell us. We don't have to do this, okay? I could be out on a horse right now, training your horse for you,
That's
maybe, okay? But we're taking this time out. We enjoy doing this, and we kind of have this bantering father-daughter thing and whatever. But Christy is such an excellent trainer with all the horses that I can't get along with. She has that ability. She's got that horse whisperer thing going.
Woo-saw.
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 I saw that spell one time. But anyway, this question is for you that she's going to ask you, and we need you to reply.
Yeah.
Because again, if this is not interesting or if this is not helpful, you understand we're not trying to sell you anything. You've never heard us try to sell anything here. Okay? So that's not what we're after.
Nobody needs a horse.
No, nobody needs a horse. You have a horse because you want one. That's right. And some of you want 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Or 4 or 5. So, all right, here's the question.
Right. So here's the poll. Which everyday activity do you think trains your horse the most? Feeding, catching, leading, grooming, riding, or turning out? And we'll put that question in the comments for you so you can read it along as well. Thank you again for sharing this episode of Horse Sense in Training. I'm Christy Meyer-Vera.
I'm Rick Meyer. And I'm
we're
very glad to be here with you.
We're glad that you are here.
Yeah.
Until next time.
We're going to be coming to you shortly. Adios.